What's up, guys? TCMuze. Let's get into some new retro soul, but this time we're going to give it a limping type swung feel. Today we're getting into some new retro soul, but we're giving it that limping swung type feel, kind of like reminiscent of Jay Dilla. Today's inspiration is Alan Stone and his song, Sweet Little Rainbows, but not the whole song, just the verse section. The verse section, if you guys go take a listen to it, you'll hear what I mean. Definitely has that Dilla feel, but let's get into what we're gonna do today. Let me show you my quantize. Here we go. 16th notes, triplets, 75% strength and sensitivity. That's gonna be used throughout, so we're gonna set it and forget it for today. For the drums, we're using Native Instruments Rare Vibration Pack. We're using this Daylight kit. Let me see. I went to the master and I used the transient master and I used the saturation. Transient master, increase the attack, reduce the sustain to make the whole kit just sound a little snappier. And then for the saturation, did my same classic, add about 30 dB. Didn't even pull back. Everything was at unity gain, even after I added the saturation. I'm going to use this for the kick snare, and then I'll get back to you for the hi-hat. Let's get it in. All right, bringing it back for a quick pit stop. I'm using a different kit for the hi-hats. I'm using the Expand kit. That is also from Rare Vibrations Native Instruments. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna program this in straight, and then I'm gonna come back, I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna use a MIDI template to give me more of a late type of feel. All right, cool. We got those hi-hats in. If you look down there, I use my pads. That sets everything at 100% velocity by using my pads, and you can tell that the velocity is 100%. If you look down here, you'll see everything is maxed out to the top. So what I'm gonna do is I added another MIDI track. The first track is a combo track. It's MIDI and it's your virtual instrument combined. So what I'm gonna do is come over here to this MIDI track, and I'm gonna put in a MIDI groove. So over here, DNA grooves, what I'm gonna do is use the laid back groove set. And I'm gonna come down here to this one that says late beat 4. I'm gonna use that one, right? So if you look here, you'll see that these blue dots are changes in velocity, and these little light teal turquoise trapezoid type of looking things, they show whether the hit is gonna be short or long. So you can see there's variation with the velocity and variation with the duration of the hit. So I put that on my MIDI track, close that, and I take what we just programmed and I put it right down there, right? So now that when we listen back to it, you'll hear that the hi-hats have this laid back, kind of late swung feel. Let's take a listen. See what I'm saying? Check your DAW. This is something that Digital Performer has for its MIDI tracks. It kind of has these MIDI templates. Check your DAW of choice and see if they also have MIDI groove templates in there that can help you achieve this laid back swung type of feel. All right? Also, if you made it this far, do me a favor. Like and subscribe. All right? Cool. Let's get on to our first melodic instruments. Of course, it's going to be Rhodes. Now for the Rhodes, we're using XXV Sovereign Soul, produced by yours truly, available at WeCreateSoul.com. Link below in the description. If you want to help out the channel, I'd really appreciate it. You can purchase it from there. And if you just want a quick little taste of what XXV Sovereign Soul sounds like, you can also check out the beta pack. That's kind of just a mini version of the full pack, and that's available for free also at WeCreateSoul.com. Now, before we put in these Rhodes, let me just kind of explain to you how I'm going to put the rhythm I'm going to use. Sometimes when we're putting together songs, we tend to just pad and just, hold the keys down on the ones and the threes or wherever the beat changes. What we're going to do here is we're going to give it a syncopated feel. We're going to play in between the beat, kind of like using the Rhodes as another percussion. And that's what gives us that, that swung, syncopated, off-kilter type of feel. Check it out. You'll see the chords on the screen, but be reminded, I'll break them down in further detail at the lesson after session after I play the full demo. So stick around for that. Next up, we just want to reinforce the licks and chords that we just put in. We're going to use a Juno 6 from Arturia using the June 6 V. We're using the Venus Rising preset. All right, what we're going to use this Juno for is just to reinforce what we're already doing and put in a quarter note pulse using some triads to support the chords that we already have there. All right, next up, we're going to take care of that low end. I'm using a TCMuze 70 custom P bass here. I just took one of their P basses, set it up the way that I like it from IK Multimedia's from Moto Bass 2. And then what I did was I took that and I ran it through Amplitude, just using a 360 bass preamp. And then threw a little Gorilla Drive at the end just to give it a little fuzz and bump to help it cut through in the mix. Again, we're going to use the same type of percussive playing style to add this bass line in. Next up, we're going to put in some keys. We're using Native Instruments Sway 2 Soul Brass preset. And what we're going to do is we're just going to hold on this this rootless G minor 9. And we're going to use the modulation wheel just to give it a little movement here, just to lay back behind everything. This is more of a vibe than it is like a harmonic thing, but it's definitely going to add a little flavor to what we're doing. All right, next up, we're going to put in a little guitar. We're using Sample Tank 4. We're using the Auto wah preset. And if you look here, you see that they have a wah built into this preset. I've mapped this to my #1 fader on my MIDI controller, and I'll just control the wah as I'm playing in the chords. All right, last but not least, we're going to put in a little bit of sound effect to do a transition between sections. For that, we're using Arturia Analog Lab Pro. We're using the Art2D2. Nice pun, fellas. And that is from the Analog Lab Factory Kit. So everybody has that has Analog Lab. All right, we're just going to drop a single note in, not doing much here. All right, we got it all in. I think what we can do here is just make this a sequence. We just take our 4-bar loop. Let's go ahead and repeat it 3 times. Boom, we'll have a chorus section and a verse section. Nice and easy. Let me make a couple of mutes so we can just get, get a little difference between section A and section B. Then I'll come back. Give me a second. All right, guys, put something together real nice that has that new retro soul feel, that has that Dilla limp included with it. I think we got something nice. I appreciate y'all. As always, stay up. We'll catch y'all next time. But for now, let's check out what we got. Here's the demo.
TCM.
You made it to the lesson after the session. Do me a favor. If you made it this far, drop a keyboard emoji down in the comments. Appreciate you. All right, let's get into breaking down these chords. So today we're in the key of F major. I'm going to go ahead and throw the keys that we're going to use across the top and down on the bottom. We're using some kind of broken chords here. As you see, we're not just padding chords, but let's get into the chords that we're going to use and I can walk you through it. All right, let's go ahead and name them and identify them. So we're using in the key of F major, we're using the 2 chord, which is a G minor. Then we're using a 4 chord, which is a B flat major 7th. And then we're going back to that 2 chord, which is a G minor, back to the 4 chord, B flat major. And then we're going to the 1, which is the F major 7, and then the 2, which is the G minor 7. But those last 2, the F major 7 and the G minor 9, we're playing those differently than how we play them the first 2 times we see them. We're just playing the whole full chord, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me show you what I'm working with here. So since that first part that we're playing is a G minor 7, or basically even just a G minor, what I'm doing is I'm playing a G and a D in my left hand, and then I'm doing a trill in my right hand between G and A. Sounds like this. All right, and then after that, we're moving to that B flat major. So we'll have a B flat and a B flat and an F in our left hand. And then what we're going to do is we're going to play the 2nd and the 3rd of that B flat, which is the C and the D. And we're just going to trill on that. It's going to sound like this. So we're hitting it twice. Then we're going back to that G minor 9, then back to the B flat major 7. But instead of playing that double trill, we're just going to play it once. So let me show you again. Instead of the double trill, we're playing 1 trill. So, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go to the 1 of the chord, 1 of the key, which is that F major. And we're going to play that full out. F, C in the left hand, F, A, C, E in the right hand. And then we go to that G minor 9. And basically that's a G and a D followed by in the left hand. And then in the right hand, we have a F, A, B flat, and another D. So it sounds like this. All right, those are all the chords. Let's try to play it around once or twice to, just get it in our hands and get it in our ear. Play it with me. Those are the keys. That was the progression. Thanks for hanging out for the lesson after the session. If you want to see more videos like this, click here. I'm a bird.